work for Expedia, and I am the Director of Research and Strategic Initiatives. And what that entails for Expedia is, in my current function, I spend a lot of time with our chains and with our market management teams working on product and strategy, and then also do a lot of research. But before I get into the data piece, I wanted to give a hand to our hosts here at EyeforTravel and specifically at the Mandalay Bay. Vegas has been a great friend to me, and I'm happy to return the favor, and I'm glad that we could all get together here. So, round of applause. All right, let's talk data. What we've seen here in the last couple of years is with the globalization of the economy and the rise of the middle class in emerging markets, coupled with kind of the penetration in mobile, we've seen the stage be set really for travel to continue to explode. So the question really is no longer will travel continue to expand and grow, it's how quickly and what technologies will enable it. And if we take a look back at some of the larger products and larger companies that are in the tech space, the adoption pace has really grown. So PC is about 16 years, the compact disc was 12, mobile phones 13, the World Wide Web is 7. Facebook is, continuing that trend at 3 years. Now I've got to note my mom is definitely not counted in that 3 years because I've been trying for the past 10 to get her on, and it's definitely been a challenge for me and a lot of discussion. I set up a Snapchat account for her, and she locked herself out in one day, which is a new record. The bottom here you see WhatsApp, and we have this on here because they are an example of a company that's really exploded. So in the first month alone, they had 100 million users. So the trend there is clear that tech will continue to grow and continue to grow quickly. And it's highlighted here in this photo. Keyless entry has become almost a standard in hotels as adoption continues to grow. You see it in the bottom right here, the VR space. I think VR is one of the big buzzwords this weekend. Does anyone know what is going on in the top right of this photo? Any guesses? This is an example of bad parenting. There are 4 people on their mobile phones having breakfast in bed, and there are cookies on that tray. That did not happen in my house. Continuing forward, and really how Expedia is in this space, it's really our pleasure to give back to our partners. So we spend a lot in tech every year. As you see on the slide, $1.2 billion, up almost 50% year on year. And we understand that not everyone has that budget, and that's why we build tools like Rev Plus, which I'll talk about in a minute, that we provide to our hotel partners for free. It's important to Expedia to not only bring you incremental travelers, but to also grow the travel pie. So often we talk about who's winning the customer and book direct versus OTA, and really there's enough pie for everyone, and we think that if we continue to invest in this space, we're going to continue to grow the travel industry, and that's really our goal. When we get to data, 5 million gigabytes, hundreds of data scientists. I'm one of those people, I don't really understand what big data is. Big data to me is like a thumb drive. And for some reason, all the data scientists I talk to, they stopped inviting me to happy hour because I keep walking in the office and be like, got this thumb drive, big data here. And they're like, no, that's not it. But at Expedia, we certainly have the people that are smart in that function. With over 5 million gigabytes, it's a lot of iterations, a lot of customer information that we have to kind of dive into. But really, information in itself is just one component, right? Imagine going to a restaurant and sitting down. Let's just say, all right, I'm going to go into a restaurant today after this on my way back to Chicago, and I'm going to sit down. And imagine the restaurant just judges me by kind of my appearance and the way I look, and they bring me what I want. So they see me in this jacket, and they probably bring me like some duck l'orange or something. And really, I just wanted buffalo wings, right? And the key message is here, what Expedia is trying to do is not guess what you want, not guess what our hotel partners want. We want to ask you. And that's why we have 32,000 partner touch points. That's why we have 5,000 panel participants and 18,000 survey responses that we looked at. I was talking to Josh from Historic Hotels last night at dinner, and he said, one of the things that really attracts me to Expedia is that you actually care about my opinion. You're willing to send me a survey. So he said, even if you don't listen to it or not, which I promise you, Josh, we do listen to you, we at least ask, and we want to take what you want out of the travel space and your experience with Expedia and give it to you. And that's why we're able to make 11,000 enhancements in 2016. So 11,000 is, I think, basically about one every hour of the year. And these are, large and small. The thing that we found about user testing is that you have the idea, you build it, you test it, you reiterate, and then you continue that feedback loop. And the synergies that you get there from the different groups contributing and the different opinions lead to a product that's not only customized, see, I worked that buzzword in, and personalized, did that one too, but it's something that our partners want to use. And with that, we're able to create an experience that benefits their business and benefits their bottom line. I talked a minute ago about Rev Plus, and I want to quickly cover this because it's a great product, and I think the best part about it is it's one less check you have to write. This is free, 100% free. And on the screen right now, you're seeing a picture of a market demand calendar. And if you are in Minneapolis, you certainly know when the Super Bowl is, right? But you may not be aware of a conference 11 months from now that focuses around river dancing that may not be on your radar. And what we do is by taking the market data, which you may not have access to, we're going to tell you that, hey, 11 months from now, there is a week that you may want to take a look at. And I think we just announced today you can opt in for email on this now, so we can push it to you, which is even better. The other piece that we give you is the ability to take a look at how you're pacing against last year and the year before. And we let you customize this so you get the information you want, and you're able to use it in whatever way you want. Whether you want to grow your business with us or maybe you want to go to a different channel, whatever you want to do, we kind of want to unlock that for you and make sure that you have the tools ready for you so that when there may be something that you need, Expedia is there to provide it for you. The final piece here is another thing that I think is incredibly valuable because it's free. And this is the ability to shop your competitors up to 20, up to 90 days. So you can look at up to 20 competitors for the next 90 days and you can see exactly what their price is. This is an expensive piece of technology that we're providing you for free. And it really goes back to that sense of partnership and that sense of we want to help you grow your business with Expedia, not only on our channels, but we want you to be successful in the travel space as well. The last kind of piece I'll touch on in technology is about guest review insights. This is super cool and trendy. I think right now, when you look at reviews, hotels maybe in New York might have someone that just looks at reviews and replies and can detail what some of the trends are. But a lot of the hotels don't have a person they can dedicate to that, so they do as best they can. What we're trying to unlock for you here is the ability to reallocate that person to something that can drive even more revenue. So what we're going to do with guest review trends is scan all the reviews that customers have left. And we're going to allow you to compare it to your competitors, and we're going to allow you to compare it to yourself and say, breakfast, for instance. Maybe you had a problem with the bacon. The bacon was too soggy for 2 years. You hear that. You change the bacon. Are you going to see, the benefit there from the revenue that you've spent on the bacon? So if you look at the chart there, you can see you can also compare against your neighbor down the street. It's a really cool tool in a way that we can allow you to untie your hands, so to speak, and get back to the business of revenue management and making money and ensuring that your hotel is there for years to come. So what's next? What's coming up next? I think it's hard to predict. If I said what's going to happen in 2020, I'm not 100% sure. If I was, I would be at the sports book and not here. But I'm here, so I'm going to take a couple guesses, and we'll talk about chatbots. I think we've heard a lot of different people talk about that. We just listened to a great presentation from Allegiant, and I think it's clear that all the businesses are going to be exploring the space, and Expedia will be there as well. We're going to talk about personal assistance. Alexa is just barely a drop in the bucket on what we can do there. So I think we're going to have different tools that are going to be able to be applied to different technologies and appliances, and we're going to continue to accelerate in that space and continue our tech investment because at the end of the day, our goal is to grow the travel space. It's not to win the traveler, it's to grow with you. So I thank you. I'd like to turn it over now for our next presentation.